Welcome back to a brand new Clash Royale video, guys. My name is Chief Pat, and today we're going to be checking out a couple of replays using the Three Musketeers of Doom, seeing as they've been so much fun to play with lately. Honestly, I still don't think they're like one of the best cards in the game or anything, but if you find one of your opponents who doesn't have the counters that they need to play against them, you can actually go pretty crazy and end up pulling off a bunch of victories. Now, just to keep you guys posted, I do stream on Camcord every single week. If you guys haven't seen a live stream before, they're super fun, especially when I'm pushing for the #1 spot. I might be doing one later today, but make sure you guys check it out. I'll throw the link to my profile in the description below. But let's go and continue with the matches, facing off against Nova from In the Light with a Valkyrie running down the lane right now, and he's actually going to play his P.E.K.K.A. Now, believe it or not, the Three Musketeers are really strong against the P.E.K.K.A. You just have to make sure that you have something protecting them, whether it's the giant skeleton, whether it's the spear goblins, anything like that. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to drop my spear goblins right here. Looks like they were able to do a decent job just getting in the way, and as you can see, the P.E.K.K.A. died right in front of my musketeers, giving them the little bit of life that they needed and able to assassinate the princess. And then the one musketeer on the left hand side was able to do over 1,000 damage to the tower. Now, I'm going to do a guide on Three Musketeers one day to show you guys how to avoid some of the counters and how to split your musketeers in order to lower your risk whenever you play them. But for now, that strategy worked pretty effectively for me on the left hand side, and as you can see, he's going to be going all in from the left to see if he can take me out. Now, I'm going to use a freeze right here. Should be enough to take out both of those cards. I might need to use the goblins, especially right now since he played his free spell right there. Pretty aggressive free spell. We can just counter it with our goblins as well as our spear goblins. And as you can see, my giant skeleton is on the very top of the map, smacking around some of those skeletons, and when he dies, he should have enough range on that bomb in order to take out the Ice Wizard. Okay, so far so good. We have both of the towers fairly injured. He hasn't touched either of our towers just yet, and that's how we should keep it. If he touches either of our towers, he's going to get an insane amount of damage, so let's try to keep it that way and try to stay a distance from most of his cards, and that's what we're going to do with the Three Musketeers on the right-hand side. Okay, so he thought it was his time to shine. He's going to play a Prince combo in the left-hand lane, but take a look at this insane combo. I'm going to play my free spell as well as my Valkyrie, which is one of the best combos against his combo, I guess. And as you can see on the right-hand side, he has my Three Musketeers frozen, but guess what? I've got a couple of spear goblins and goblins up front to protect from that P.E.K.K.A. I'm going to play my poison spell right now in case he dropped any small troops in front, and seeing as he dropped his poison inside of the poison, or his princess inside of the poison spell, that thing's going to die immediately, and from here on out, this game's pretty much over, seeing as he can't reach my towers in time, and we're actually going to win this game taking 0 damage against our towers. So a really fun showing of using the Three Musketeers right here. Overall, a very clean game, as you could put it, and 1 crown to 0 against Nova. Let's go ahead and hop into another replay, this one against Crucial, and let's see how we can take him out. Now, I've played Crucial a lot, and I feel like he's one of the players over the last couple of weeks I've seen improve, especially with the new meta that's been hopping around recently, so definitely gonna have to take him seriously. Take a look at the very bottom, though, how I split my Three Musketeers. I don't know if he has a Fireball, I don't know if he has a P.E.K.K.A., I don't know. I mean, I have no idea what he has in his deck, so that's why I'm gonna use those right there, and he's gonna play an Elixir Collector. That's pretty much showing no respect to the Chief, just saying he's going to take me out, and it looks like he's actually going to freeze all of those at the same time, though, and have a perfect counter with the Valkyrie. He knew he was going to be able to take care of those Three Musketeers when he dropped that Elixir Collector down, so pretty nicely played by him, and now we're going to have to go on defense, only having done 1,000 damage to the left-hand tower. Now, take a look at Crucial's deck, though. He's using the deck that I said I created inside of that video. I know a lot of people were getting salty in the last comment section saying that I didn't make it. All I'm saying is that deck, I didn't see it before I put it into a video, and then all of a sudden a lot of people are playing it in the US. So anyways, he's going to be playing a deck that I know reasonably well. Obviously only the skeletons being substituted for the goblins, serving the same purpose. And taking a look at his strategy right now, he's going to keep pumping up against my deck, which honestly is a pretty good idea. What I have to be waiting for him is for him to either waste his Valkyrie or waste his free spell, and in that circumstance, we're definitely going to be able to do work no matter where we attack. Now take a look at the right hand side. He actually split his P.E.K.K.A. to the right, my giant skeleton went to the left, so this is where things are going to get a little bit weird. We can either try to defend against that P.E.K.K.A. or go for an all-out push with our Three Musketeers, and that's what I'm going to end up doing. I'm going to drop our spear goblins, I'm going to drop our Three Musketeers in just a second, and look at them go crazy on the left-hand side. Now, of course, his P.E.K.K.A is running towards my tower. I was hoping I would get some elixir quicker than I did, but it looks like they're going to go down, and Valkyrie is going to get a good chunk of damage against my spear, or my Musketeers, meaning that we have a disadvantage going into the rest of this battle, and he's going to continue pumping up in the center of his base. Now, at this point, I know my condition to tie the game. I can drop 2 poison spells to take out that left-hand tower, and seeing as he dropped that elixir collector, we're going to get some pretty awesome value by dropping the poison in the very center. So at this point, I'm going to have to just cycle through some of our cards, play a little bit of defense, and then we should be able to tie the game and see if we can sneak out a victory towards the end. Now, he drops a Hog Rider. I'm just going to play my Spear Goblins. I would say that's probably not the best decision on his hand unless he was going to freeze it, and then I think it would have gone even worse if he decided to freeze it. At this point, he's going to end up dropping a freeze spell onto my Giant Skeleton as well as the other troops, and then I'm going to freeze both his P.E.K.K.A and his Musketeer, but take a look at that Valkyrie. The Valkyrie wasn't able to squeeze between all 3 of those Musketeers, which means things are about to get a little bit crazy. I've got 2 P.E.K.K.As of Valkyrie on the left-hand side, and with my poison spell, I almost forgot to drop it towards the very end, and finally I drop it on that tower, and with a single second left, boom! The tower explodes, giving us that nail-biting tie going into the rest of this battle. So we've been given new life by the Clash Royale gods going into the rest of this battle. He's going to drop that elixir collector right there. Dropping the goblins in front of it will negate its entire value. At this point, we're going to play our 3 Musketeers, and all 3 of them are actually going to the left, so he's definitely going to have to respond with something. Okay, so he's going to play his P.E.K.K.A on the very top. Honestly, if I were him, I probably would have just waited for my Musketeers to cross the line and then dropped a free spell Valkyrie on top of them, but he decides to go a little bit bold. He's going to actually play that, and take a look at this. Free spell on both the P.E.K.K.A and the Valkyrie. That was beautiful on the left-hand side. Take a look at the right. He actually played a pretty cheeky play, trying to get his Hog Rider to distract my Giant Skeleton and follow it down the lane, but taking a look at that Giant Bomb on the right-hand tower, with 10 seconds left, we pulled off a pretty awesome comeback victory, with, again, only about a second left inside of regular time before we are able to pull out the 2 crown to 1 victory heading into extras. So awesome match against Crucial. Let's hop into one more right here. If you guys have checked out TV Royale, this is actually probably still up on by the time I post this video, going off against, it looks like, a balloon rocket user, and this guy definitely has a lot of counters to my deck. He can play the rocket to take out my 3 Musketeers. That's going to be 6 elixir for a 9 elixir trade, and like I've told you guys, the 3 Musketeer has an insane amount of counters. You can play probably around 10 cards inside of Clash Royale. What is that, like 20% of the cards, and those are instant counters to the 3 Musketeers. There's other plenty good cards as well, but take a look at these goblins. I actually dropped those goblins and got them to distract the Valkyrie for just a second. Normally, you wouldn't play goblins in front of a Valkyrie, but in that case, I did it to buy my Musketeers just a couple extra seconds, and take a look at the Musketeers as they go crazy against that tower. Now, of course, he does have the minions. Got to drop my poison spell to take that out. Looks like the poison spell is going to get the job done, and with only a little bit of damage on our right-hand tower, we definitely have a solid grasp of the game going into the rest of the battle. 2 minutes left inside of regular time, and 2 poison spells will take out that right-hand tower. It does 330 damage. I think it's like 33 damage a second for 10 seconds for the poison spell at max rank, so I'm keeping that in mind, especially as I've played this deck more and more. I've memorized most of the values, and with only 3 elixir more than what a poison spell could take out, sad times on the right-hand side, but he does drop the balloon right on the right-hand side of the map. A little bit unfortunate. He actually ended up rocketing the 3 Musketeers. I'm not sure if he had the free spell available. That might have been a better play for him. But again, still a pretty solid trade. It gave me 3 negative elixir by dropping those 3 Musketeers for the rocket. But the 3 Musketeers were able to kill the balloon, and that's really what matters inside of this. If I can kill the balloon by the time that he rockets my 3 Musketeers, then it's 9 elixir for the 3 Musketeers, and then 11 elixir for both the balloon and the rockets, 5 plus 6, and that's a positive trade for us. So that's pretty much what I'm going to do. Now, right here, the tower's at 333, so just going to go ahead and start pushing down the lane. Notice how I dropped those goblins in front, so the Inferno Tower focused on them first. And as we make our way to the tower, yeah, he's just going to drop his minions. But take a look at this poison spell. It's going to hit all 5 minions with only 1 on the outside, as well as burn the tower down as well. So the tower should only be at like 3 HP towards the end. And unless anything goes funky, unless he plays a perfect free spell, rocket, something like that, we should end up winning this game. And check out these Three Musketeers right here. So boom, Three Musketeers destroy that balloon. He's going to play a free spell, so I throw a thumbs up. He's going to play a rocket, so I throw a sad face. But with only 3 HP left on that right-hand side, guys, this one is as good as gone. Just cycling back to our poison spell, make sure that balloon doesn't reach our tower, and let's go ahead and drop a Valkyrie on the left, a free spell to stop that balloon, and of course with the poison spell finally inside of our cycle, that's going to go on the top right to take out the tower, and that's going to end this game right here. So overall, some pretty fun times with the Three Musketeers, especially when you're playing against people who either don't have a counter, or if they've recently just played that counter onto the map, you can end up having a bunch of success. And I hope you guys try this strategy out. Let me know what you think about it, because it's been a lot of fun for me, and I've been doing a pretty good job pushing. So I'm going to be pushing later today. Again, I mentioned my stream on Camcord earlier. I might be streaming later today, pushing towards the end of the season, seeing as the season wraps up tonight at midnight, I think at like East Coast time. So make sure to check that out if you guys want. Make sure you drop a like on this video if you enjoyed it, and until next time, I will see you guys later. Peace.